How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drew Estate Cigar Studios for episode 160 of How About That Cigar Live. Thank you guys so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and for those of you listening after the fact on the audio podcast, guys, thank you so much for making How About That Cigar a part of your regular audio podcast rotation. And again, we're here in the beautiful Drew Estate Cigar Studios, and they unveiled recently the secret identity of the mystery cigar, and that is the all-new Nica Rustica Adobe, the second expression in Drew Estate's value-priced Nica Rustica line. The Nica Rustica brand is Drew Estate's homage and tribute to Esteli, Nicaragua. The Nica Rustica Adobe will be available in a 6x52 Toro, 5x54 Robusto, and a 6x60 Gordo, all presented in 25-count boxes, while retaining many of the same characteristics as the Connecticut broadleaf expression. Nica Rustica Adobe is the spicier version, using a Habano wrapper, Brazilian binder, and Nicaraguan filler tobaccos from Esteli and Jalapa. Unpolished and unrefined, Nica Rustica Adobe is a medium to full-bodied cigar that offers loads of spice with a bold and very long finish, the perfect companion for adventurous cigar buffs. Nica Rustica Adobe will be available for regular distribution to all retailers beginning in August. For more info, please visit drewestate.com. So, you, ladies and gentlemen, watching may notice a little something different over this way.
Where?
You guys have seen Justin before. If you watched our TPE trade show coverage a few months ago, you guys know Justin. Justin's the producer. And so Garrett is extremely ill right now. We wish him the best. We wish him a speedy recovery. And I see he says Daddy's watching.
Oh boy. Don't so me with a good time there.
We wish Garrett a speedy recovery. And but Justin is filling in. Welcome to the big chair.
Welcome. Thank you, Matt. And I'm excited to be on. This is kind of last minute, but we're winging it. And,
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Like I said before we went live, it's just a cigar show. It's that we're not solving the world's problems here. We're just having a good time. So yeah, it's been kind of another one of those crazy weeks. We were really excited this over the last weekend. Luciano Morales from Ace Prime Cigars was in town, so very, very honored to have some time to hang out with him. He's a super cool guy, really knowledgeable about tobacco, and so we got to hang out with him at Ramsey Smoke Shop, and a little bit the next day, having some cigars at the Caraway Club in Minneapolis with Rob and Nate from Boveda. So that was always a good time, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. For those, I don't know if you're not really the baseball guy, like Garrett and I.
Not too much.
But if you're a baseball fan at all, and you happen to catch the Twins game yesterday, it was a terrible game for the first 8 innings. But then all of a sudden, so going into the 8th inning, the Twins were down 6-0, and it wasn't looking good. And the Twins ended up coming from behind and absolutely killing the final 2 innings of the game, and ended up winning in regulation. By the way, it did not go extra innings. The Twins ended up winning 7-6. So that was a good time. It was fun watching the last 2 innings. The first 7, not so much, but that was a pretty cool thing. The Stanley Cup playoffs are well underway. We're in round 2. Colorado is at St. Louis as we speak. Game 4 is starting. Avalanche lead that series 2-1. So, as much as we hated seeing our Minnesota Wild lose, it was, it's nice to see our friends at Cigar Dojo and their Colorado Avalanche doing pretty well in round 2. I have a feeling they're going to win the whole thing, but we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm still bummed. I'm still sad that Minnesota's out of it, but
it's always next year.
There's always next year. That's as a Minnesota sports fan, that's a phrase that you learn and just make a part of your regular vocabulary. Is there's always next year. It's a rebuilding year, something like that. I don't know. So let's get into our main segment of the evening, guys. We have a great special guest coming on the show. And as always, special guests on How About That Cigar Live are brought to us by our friends at Corona Cigar Company. Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, the internet's largest and easiest to use virtual cigar store. Corona Cigar Company offers you the finest handmade cigars, humidors, and cigar accessories at the absolute lowest possible price. You'll also find unique and limited cigars containing Florida sun-grown tobacco. As a proud American, president and founder of Corona Cigar Company, Jeff Borshowitz, believed it was possible to bring cigar tobacco farming back to Florida. At Corona Cigar Company and coronacigar.com, you'll find the best selection anywhere in the world of cigars containing this special Florida sun-grown tobacco. If you live in Florida or are just visiting, be sure to visit any of the great Corona Cigar locations in downtown Orlando, Sand Lake, Lake Mary, and also the Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. For more info on all of that, please visit coronacigar.com and floridasungrown.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome to episode 160 of How About That Cigar Live from Asylum Cigars, Mr. Tom Lazuka. Welcome to How About That Cigar Live.
How you guys doing?
We are doing well, sir. Welcome to the show. Thank you. It's been a long time coming, man. We've been wanting to have you on the show ever since we started out, man. So thank you so much for being on with us tonight.
Yeah, not bad. Only 160 episodes to get it done, right? But
right.
We got it done.
That's right. That's right. So you mentioned it before we went live, but give our viewers and listeners an idea of where you are broadcasting from. And if you would, share with us what you're smoking right now.
Well, I'm just at home in Detroit area, and I am smoking the Asylum 9 1118 shape.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I think I'm going to grab something here to fire up. And I was really fortunate that we have a number of shops in the Twin Cities area here that carry or that not only carry your cigars, everything from Asylum and from CLE, but also are members of the PCA and attend the PCA trade show. So I got the Asylum and the Aroa PCA exclusive cigar. So we got the Robusto size. We're going to fire those up right now.
Very nice.
Very definitely excited to try these because that was one of the, I mean, there's so much great stuff that gets released at the PCA trade show, but this was definitely one of the ones on my radar to try out. So I'm going to fire it up right now. I should have been better prepared for this. I usually have all these already taken out of the wrapper and pre-cut and everything, but I just totally lost track of everything tonight. So, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's get to the toast cam while I get my cigar fired up.
When lighting your cigar, it's important to be patient, pay close attention to detail, and focus on the tobacco. In the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sombre Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that'll fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit dunbartoncigars.com to learn more.
Well, there we go. So Tom, I want to jump in first of all, because it's your first time on the show. One of the things that we like to learn is, somebody's first experience with a premium cigar. So that first time that you sat down and fired up a premium cigar, or it could have been on the golf course or wherever it was, what do you remember what you smoked that first time around, and what kind of got you into it in the beginning?
I don't remember what I smoked. Actually, I was a good friend of mine had been in the business for a number of years, and he was worked with an independent broker who you guys probably know up in Minnesota, Michael Perales.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Michael and my best friend Mark were doing an event with Nestor Miranda in the
Oh,
Detroit
nice.
area, and
Nice.
this was about 25 years ago, and did the event. So it was something from from Nestor, but I couldn't tell you what it was at the time.
Okay. And as you kind of worked your way through got your way through high school and college afterwards, was working in the cigar business always a part of your career plan, or how did that come about?
No, not at all, man.
Okay.
Like, through college, I started doing a pizza chain called Jets. They're they started locally in Detroit, and I started working with those guys, and we end up getting an area development agreement with Jets, and so we had opened 4 stores, and we were opening more. And after about 7 years, I was just never home. My wife at the time was like, "Hey, you're constantly gone. We can't start a family." So I sold the pizza places and kind of goofed off for a while and went hunting and fishing. And then my wife said, "You're home too much, you loser. Get a job." So I end up getting a job in the cigar business. Michael Perales had called me one day and said, "Hey, call this company and talk to them." And my first job in the business was with Calibri, the lighter company, and went to work for them as a lighter salesman. And I was with them for 2 years, and then met some of the people from Camacho. And that's when I interviewed with them. They were hiring direct sales reps, and got the job there. And that's the story, man. Still with Christian, through the transition to Davidoff. And then when his non-compete ended, we started this company in 2012.
Yeah. And at the beginning of that, because we talk a lot about different styles of cigars, different vitolas, ring gauges, things like that. Was your vision at the very beginning for Asylum to be the big, sort of known as the big ring gauge cigar, or did that come after the brand had already launched?
No. It was before the brand. I mean, me and Christian were in the process of doing the CLE line. And we started talking about Asylum, and we were thinking about where we're going to do it, if it was going to be Honduran or Nicaraguan. And we decided to go into Nicaragua and blend the cigars. But I had been on the road for a while and had seen we weren't the first big ring gauge cigar in the market, and I would see them on the shelves, and they were always empty. And the customers would tell me, "Hey, we don't." I would ask them how they sell, and they said, "We sell, but we have trouble getting them." So I came back to Christian and said, "Listen, I want to do big ring gauge cigars." And he looked at me like I was stupid, and but I said, "Well, I ordered the bands, and so I need you to order the molds." And he said, "All right, I'm going to do it just to say I told you so." And 10 years later, it's our number one selling size. We sell a lot of 70 ring gauge cigars, and so it's been quite a journey in the big ring gauge world.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask, big ring gauge cigars, there's something like a 9x90 or something you guys have. I mean, who the hell comes up with a 9x90 cigar? By the way, because I'm dying to know the story on this.
Well, that was actually, we always thought about doing something bigger, and we did the 80x8. And people always asked us for more, and then we, not this past April Fools, but the year before, our marketing team, Raul, and the guys posted Asylum 990 coming soon. But if you flip the page, it said April Fools. But then we had, hundreds of responses of people saying, "We want it, make it, you pussies. We want," I mean, they started calling us names. And so me and Christian just had a conversation. We're like, "All right, let's do it." So we did it, and we launched it last year. We weren't sure what it was going to do. We just did like a 1-month sale with our salespeople, and said, okay, whatever we sell, that's what we make. And uh, so we made them, went out, and 2 days later, people were calling, going, "We need more. We want more." And we're like, "Well, there are no more," And they're like, "No, you got to make more." So uh, we decided to launch it again. They'll be shipping shortly, and any day now. They should be coming in from Honduras,
Nice.
and we decided to do it as just a limited release, like twice a year. So
Okay.
it's not an everyday cigar, but we'll release it a couple times a year now.
Nice. So going back to even before the Asylum brand started, in the early CLE days,
Yeah.
when you guys got started,
Well, they started at the exact same time.
oh, they did it this. Okay.
Yep.
So that's my fault.
Yep.
So, but at the very beginning, when you guys got started, what did, when you looked at the process of, starting really from scratch, a new brand, a new offering to the public, to the cigar world, what was kind of the philosophy that you guys had in the beginning to, as whether it was about marketing or branding or design, and how, what have you learned from, or because it's 10 years now. So what have you learned along the way, um, that you have changed, and what have you stuck with?
Well, for the most part, like when me and Christian first started this, it was just going to be me and him. Our goal was to do like 600,000 cigars a year, keep it very simple. To be me and him on the road, traveling, doing the events, doing the sales, and so we could start selling cigars on July 2nd of 2012. So we planned a trip in Florida. I was down in Miami. We did a big loop around Florida, and it was about a month before the PCA or IPCPR at the time in Orlando. And we're driving around, and everyone's like, "Well, we'll take a look," blah blah blah. And we weren't selling a whole lot of cigars, so we're kind of sitting back, going, "Wow, this might not have been a great idea." And but as soon as we hit the trade show, it blew up. I think our goal was 300,000 for the first half a year, and we end up doing just a hair under 800,000 cigars that first 6 months. And that's when Christian said, "Oh, listen, start hiring a sales team. We're onto something." And
Yeah.
so we built a great sales team, and continue to have a lot of the people that started with us, and we continue to grow with those guys. They do a great job for us. So it's been a pretty good ride, and we've always kind of done things our way. The plan was always to build the brand slowly, and do it, make sure the quality stayed up, have good steady growth, and we've continued to do that for 10 straight years. So
Yeah. And have you guys, coming up on the 10th anniversary, that's a big deal, going from July of 10 years ago, and then like you said, that first trade show hit, and numbers were way bigger than you expected, and your growth has been really incredible over the last 10 years. So as you look at that milestone, because 10 years for really anything, any kind of business venture, is a big deal. So are you guys looking at something to celebrate that milestone?
no, you know what, we kind of sat back, and obviously I'll have the Asylum 10 this year. That should be out sometime in July. But we kind of sat back this year and kind of limited new products because of the demands on tobacco. We're still trying to fill the back orders from the pandemic. The business kind of went crazy, and
Yeah.
so we didn't really want to keep adding new things when we can't really fulfill all the products that we need to fulfill. So we kept it pretty simple this year. We'll have 2022 PCA exclusives, and Asylum, and Eroa, uh, and then just the Asylum 10. So we really
Okay.
kind of kept it simple this year. Uh, I would have liked to done something, but it's not. We just didn't want to keep adding to it when we're still getting caught up from the past couple years.
Sure. Now, when it comes to the factories and the production, is everything on the Asylum side Nicaragua and everything on the Aroa side Honduras, or is there overlap?
There's a lot of overlap. You
Okay.
know, we don't. Most of our stuff comes out of Honduras. You know, we make a few things in Nicaragua. Originally, we made more in Nicaragua, but the labor shortages there have made it impossible to meet the demand. Really hurt us over the last 2 years. So we moved a lot of production into Honduras. You know, our factory in Honduras, we increased production 90% last year to help offset the lack of production because they just don't have rollers. We can't get the people we need in Nicaragua right now. So we focused on Honduras. We opened a second factory in Tegucigalpa now. We built a new box factory, so we've got a brand new, bigger box factory working double shifts to get us caught up. And you know, we've been working on some new farms. We've started a farm in Colombia and a farm in Mexico, just to keep getting tobacco because it's you know, the pandemic really we went through probably a 4 or 5 year supply of tobacco through the pandemic. So getting caught up and making sure we have tobacco for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, you know, we can't depend on anyone else. So we got to make sure that we have the tobacco supply that we need.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I want to put that question from Dax up on the screen. That's a great. Are there plans to make a travel herfador to fit the Asylum cigars? That's a good question because some of the smaller ones don't necessarily work out.
Yeah, you know, we've got a couple things in the works. I haven't heard that yet, but that's something that might work. You know, to make one that fits like the 990s and 880s, kind of makes the travel size go away. But you know, I can't say that it's out of the question.
Yeah, one of those. I can visualize using one of those Stanley coffee thermoses. Obviously, have it completely dry inside, and throw in the 9x90 with a Boveda pack, and I think you'd be good to go.
Yeah, there. You know,
Just get the coffee out of, or maybe get one that's fresh that never had coffee in it, so you don't get that coffee taste in your cigar.
Right. I gotta say, actually, I just got over COVID over the last couple weeks, and this is one of the first cigars I'm actually able to taste, and it's delicious.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, really enjoying this one tonight.
Yeah, and Michelle was asking about the Asylum PCA exclusive, and that's the one I'm smoking right now. And I am really enjoying it. It's super bold, but there's a lot of balance to it as well. So I'm it's burning and drawing just right.
Thank you.
So how much time do you get to spend? Obviously, things have changed since 2020, but how much time do you get to spend in the factories, or do you let Christian handle that and you handle the sales here in the States?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Christian handles it because he's just out of Miami.
Yeah.
Gets down there. You know, normally I'm down there a number of times throughout the year, but COVID kind of slowed that up. I was down in November, and now we're just hitting busy season, and we've got a lot of expansion in the European market. So the travel, you know, is taking us. You know, Christian just spent like 12 days in France. We've got a trip to Germany coming up in June. So, and then, you know, I'm on the road with the sales reps. I was out in Portland and Seattle last week. So we were constantly on the road, but he handles most of it. You know, when we're doing the blends, if I can't make it down there, he'll bring them up and then send them up to me, or I'll go to the office in Miami and smoke them and make sure that they're, you know, we kind of come up with the concept of the ideas first, and then Christian will go down and blend it. And you know, if I can't do it, you know, it's usually together, but if I can't be there, he does it, and then, you know, I'll tell him it sucks. He gets mad at me, has to start all over, or what, you know. But he usually does a really good job of putting together, you know, what we're looking for in a new cigar.
Okay. And when you guys sit down, like when you go to Miami and you guys sit down together, and you work on blends. How does the collaboration piece of it work? Because like you said, sometimes there's going to be disagreements about different profiles, about different, balance pieces that go into a blend and things like that. How do you guys kind of work together when you're sitting down tasting cigars and putting your do you do it separately and then come together with your thoughts, or how does that all work?
No, I mean, we kind of look at what we're trying to get, right? Do we need a mild, a medium? Do we want another full body? What kind of price point are we going after? What's the production going to be like? And so, usually on the CLE and Aroas, he'll make most of that stuff, and we'll smoke them and say yay or nay. But usually he's going to go with his gut on those. And then on the Asylum stuff, if I don't like it, we don't do it, and we go back to the drawing board. So it's
Okay.
just kind of, I have a little more, I would say, input in the Asylum side because that's my baby, and he has kind of the final say on the CLE and Aroa side.
Okay. And when at the beginning, when those two main pillars were created by you guys, the CLE pillar and the Asylum pillar, what led to the name Asylum? Because it's a unique and memorable name. It really catches the eye, and it's memorable. So what led to that word Asylum?
Well, in the very beginning, we had another person involved in the Asylum side. He was kind of going to be the face. He was a roller out of Kansas City, and he was coming. We were all kind of putting ideas together. He was coming down to Honduras and Nicaragua with us, and we decided, we were going to actually call it the Insane Asylum, but
Okay.
some hookah company disputed us. So we said, okay, what can we do? Let's do Asylum. And then we just kind of talked, and we're both like, all right, lucky 13. Let's do a number. They can't dispute a number. And so we went with the number. But Asylum is always, we play into it with the names like Schizo and the Medulla Oblongata and all the different names that we use. But it's always been about where you smoke. It's always been, our tagline from the beginning has been everybody seeks asylum. And the whole idea of that is this is where you go and relax. This is where you go to get away. This is where to go meet with your friends. So whether it's on your back porch, your garage, a cigar shop, the golf course, it's always been about where you go to relax and enjoy your cigar.
Nice. I like that. And that's kind of, the philosophical piece that leads into the next question, which is, we're always dealing with whether it's government entities or different regulations or, taxes that cause prices to go up, things like that, can cause there to be maybe a little bit of worry about the future of this cigar hobby that we love so much and the cigar culture as a whole. Kind of from a philosophical standpoint, because there's something about the hobby that goes beyond just the tobacco and goes beyond just the the packaging and all that. It's something that's kind of important to us on sort of a deeper level. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's important to preserve the cigar hobby?
Well, I think it's just something that brings all different people together. When you sit down in a cigar shop, there's just a mix of everybody. It doesn't matter your social status, your financial status, your job status. Uh, Everybody just comes together there to enjoy, whatever cigar it is, whether it's Asylum or Fuente or, any company. Um, the wonderful part about the cigar shop is just the absolute melting pot of people and the interaction of people, and you can learn a lot uh, about culture, about different people in the cigar shop, and I think that's always been something that most businesses don't get. Most people, you can't get that in a lot of places.
Yeah, I agree. And that We talk about it so much on the show and with people that we interact with, that there is something different.
Cigar people are the best people.
So yeah, we say that all the time on
time.
the show. The cigar people are the best
The-
people, and
the-
there just is something special about hanging out with
The
people.
community, just it's one of a kind for industries now these days.
It really is.
Today,
Yeah.
So, just a quick off topic, but PCA, will you guys be exhibiting there this year? And if so, like, what can we expect from Asylum and CLE?
Yeah, I mean, we're always there. It's important, for us to be there. I think it's important for the industry, for retailers to be there. But this year, we'll have the new release of the Asylum PCA 2022. And so I think it'll be the same blend. We're just going to do it in a round vitola this year. I don't think we changed anything about the blend. So that'll be very simple this year.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I agree. It's an important show. It's like a family reunion, getting together with everybody and seeing your retail friends and seeing your fellow manufacturer brand friends. There's just something about getting everybody back together in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, energy was great last year. The people were there to buy. And, for us, we want to spend the time with our customers. It's nice. I'm on the road all the time. We walk into the stores, but to be in a separate setting, they're usually hustling, going from booth to booth. But, hopefully you get some time after at one of the PCA parties or the Circle Bar, where you get to sit down and catch up with people. And it's a great place to be. And they give a lot of good information if you sit in on the PCA meetings that they have, that go over the FDA stuff, state legislature stuff, retail, how you can be better retailers. They usually have a pretty good program of things there to help you learn about what's happening in our industry, learn what's going on, what's working in the retail environment. So, when you go, I hope people take advantage of those things, because that's what, they're up there gathering information, and people are giving, uh, what's working for them in the industry.
Yeah. And speaking of the retailer piece, because you visit so many, I mean, just all over the country, and even it's gonna. I know you guys are really expanding in Europe and things like that, but for us in the States here, what are you hearing from retailers over the past couple of years? Because it's been an interesting couple of years for everybody. What are you hearing from retailers as far as if their customer bases are changing? Are they seeing new people who are new to the cigar hobby? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, obviously over the last 2 years, going into the beginning of this year, the retailers definitely seen a lot of new customers, new people to cigars, and we saw a big increase in total cigars sold in the United States and probably around the world. But I think now you're kind of seeing it plateauing a little bit, leveling off, and
Okay.
we probably won't see that kind of growth anymore. But I don't think we'll see the dramatic fall that we did at the last boom in the '90s. I think there's a lot of new people. Yeah, people smoke more because they were working from home. Some people are going back to the office, but I don't think anyone would complain if we stick, somewhere close to where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, our sick friend Garrett asks, did we pay attention to any of the FDA proceedings today? I didn't watch them like directly on C-SPAN or anything like that, but there's a write-up on Half Wheel. PCA sent something out as well. I honestly don't know the specifics behind it. Tom, did you have a chance to look at any of what they were talking about today?
I did not watch it, but I did read what was posted on Half Wheel and stuff. And again, I think, all I really read is they were really, tried to make their case again. But in for the most part, they didn't make their case that their own studies show that, underage people don't smoke premium cigars.
Yeah.
That the epidemiology of cigars, if you smoke 1 to 2 cigars a day, it doesn't have a health effect on you. So just my understanding was that the FDA really didn't do a good job of proving their point, because their own studies have proved quite the opposite.
Yeah, I agree. And fortunately, we've had some good, I don't want to use the word luck, but it's the only term that comes to mind right now. But we've had some good luck in the past few years where a lot of federal judges have kind of seen what you just mentioned, Tom, that the FDA really has not done their homework. They really don't have a firm grasp on the differentiating factors between premium cigars and cigarettes and vape and other smokable products.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to lump everything together, right?
Yeah.
And look past their own data. They
Right.
took the time to have their own studies done, and they just went back and did it again, and they really came back with no conclusive evidence again.
Right.
But they still want to come after the industry. And at what point do they say, enough's enough? But they're not. They want to ban smoking.
Right.
I think the large companies want to control the markets, and they're not really on board with protecting the little guys, because listen, they're corporations. They're not family owned. They want to control as much market share as they want. They want to be Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and that's all good, but we're not going out without a fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way you put that. That's perfect. Well, I think
Is it time?
it's time to move into this week's Numero de los Muertos. And as always, Numero de los Muertos, brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn. All right. And guys, don't forget, if you're listening or watching, if you go to smokein.com and pick out some of your favorite cigars, put them in your cart and use code HBTC15 for 15% off. Some restrictions apply. If it's super limited or something like that, the code's probably not going to work. But for the cigars that you enjoy every day, use that code for 15% off. So episode 160, Numero de los Muertos. Justin, what do you have for us this week?
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
Where's it at?
I do have a drum roll
You
sound
do?
somewhere here.
Somewhere in the bank.
I don't. Yeah, I couldn't. I
Okay.
wouldn't be able to find it right now.
So this week's Numero de los Muertos, from 1990 to 2016, 30 people have died here.
From 1990 to 2016, 30 people have died.
33 people.
33 people have died in this location. It's a location.
Here globally.
Is it Niagara Falls?
Sadly, no, it's not Niagara Falls, Rob.
So, Tom, the reason we say Niagara Falls is because a couple weeks ago we were interviewing Rob and Nate from Boveda, and literally within 2 seconds, Rob guessed Niagara Falls, and Garrett was totally dejected and sad because he expected it was going to take us like 5 minutes to figure it out. So that's going to be our joke answer for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Or autoerotic asphyxiation, but this is a location
This is
we're
the
looking
location we're looking for tonight. So it's not the Mall of America there, Jason.
for. Is it in the United States?
It can be.
It can be.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
It's
not
globally.
this is not a
Globally.
geographic
No, this is
location.
globally.
Inside an airplane
No.
while it's in the air.
Nope.
No.
Okay, so Tom brings up a good question. Is this on land?
Yes, it's on land.
These locations
Yes.
are on land.
Yep.
Are vehicles involved?
No vehicles are involved.
No vehicles.
It's not drinking with Risty to cure a common cold. It's not the Hoover Dam.
Oh shoot!
Hit by a train, not hit by a train.
So, all right. So this location is not geographic specific.
Not geographic specific.
And it's on land.
Yes.
Is it in? Does it take place indoors?
It can.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
It can be outdoors, indoors. Yeah.
Are trees involved?
No, trees are definitely not involved.
Okay. Are firearms involved?
No firearms.
Are animals involved?
Very good question.
Animals are involved.
Animals are involved. Okay,
Yes.
That's a very good question.
That's a good one. It's not in a what's that say? Porta-john? No, definitely not in a porta-john. It's a good one though.
In a circus?
Not in a circus.
Great question.
It's not base jumping from bridges.
Jason says zoo. Is it a zoo?
Jason.
Is that it?
It is.
Was he the first one that said zoo?
He
We got a
was the
lot
first
of.
one that
We got
said
all these people in the comments
Yeah.
now saying zoo. So
yeah, according to CNN, the animal advocacy group Born Free reports that there have been 256 injuries in zoo due to animal attacks over the past 26 years, resulting in 33 deaths. These injuries would include situations like the one involving Harambe, where a child falls in an enclosure, but most often involve zookeepers or trainers. So
most of them are people that work at the zoo.
At the zoo, yeah. Given the number of people who actually visit zoos every year, that means zoo-related accidents don't happen very often at all.
Man, I'm gonna have to talk to because in a few weeks we have Bear Duplessis on the show, and his wife is a zookeeper.
You have to quiz her on that.
We got to talk to him about that and see if we can get the lowdown. So working at a zoo can be it's
a very low number, but
it's a low number, but still working at a zoo is probably more dangerous than your average 9 to 5.
Right.
Yeah, it depends on if you're in the penguin enclosure or the lions and bears and tigers enclosure.
Those killer penguins will get you.
Yeah,
there.
see, he's thinking the same way.
Who was that saying? I think we have a dispute about who gave the right answer first. Yeah, no fighting, everybody. Be nice in the comments. I don't know.
The first one that popped up on the screen was, I think, Jason Pohl.
Yep, that's what I
got. Watch out for killer penguins. Dax says, "Yeah, killer penguins."
Shamu. Jason cheated, so Tony called it.
All right, so that was this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, let's move into the lightning round for this week. And lightning round is brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company. They are America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and the American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj cigar factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or their visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right. So, Tom, if you could hear the thoughts of one living person for 10 minutes, who would it be?
Oh, jeez. Right now, I think it would be Johnny Depp.
Oh, that's a very timely answer. I like that.
And why? Why wouldn't it be Johnny Depp there, Tom?
Yeah.
Because I would very much like to hear what his thoughts are thinking when she's up on the stand and they're disputing whether she's lying or not lying. whether he's lying or not lying. Like, if he's there going, "Oh man, I got away with that one," or or she's a nut job, or I'm a nut job. I don't, just like what's going through that guy's mind.
Yeah. I think what goes through his mind is really random shit. Like how many people do penguins kill every year? And
Yeah.
what do dogs think about when they're eating? Or, I think he's a little eccentric is where I'm going with this.
Just a little bit.
But I think she's a little eccentric too, and maybe just a touch on the psychotic side.
So next one here, Tom. If you were going to get in a fight, what would your soundtrack music be?
It would probably be Pantera.
Oh,
What song?
Yeah.
Any particular track?
Walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one works very well for fighting music.
Yeah, just get you pumped up,
So choose one of the following. You could hit a home run as a starting pitcher. You could score a touchdown as a defensive lineman. You could score a goal in a hockey game as the goalie, or a goal in a soccer game as the goalie.
Score a goal as the goalie in a hockey game.
Nice. Yeah. Super rare, but
Yeah.
always fun to watch.
Let's do that last one.
Let's do it. We got to do the last one. So
I'll do this one.
Okay.
Let's say there's a zombie apocalypse coming, and you had your crew of you and 3 other cigar industry people. Who would they be?
Well, one of them is probably, he's no longer really in the cigar business, but if you know the man, he used to own some shops in Indiana. His name's Tom Taglia, and he is probably the most well-armed person I've ever met in my life. He used to take us shooting. He's got everything you could ever want to shoot, and ammo for days. So I would definitely take Tom Taglia, even though he's not necessarily still in it, but I'm going to take him.
That's a good pick. Firearms are a must.
Yeah. From that point, I got to take my partner Christian. I don't know if he's going to be any good at saving anything, but he's pretty smart. So I'll take Christian just to save Christian. We might have to do the saving, but I got to bring Christian with me, and and then I got to bring my lady with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like it. I'm gonna hit you with one more. So if you could have an unlimited supply for the rest of your life of one thing, and it can't be food and it can't be cigars, but if you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life that you never have to pay for again, what would it be?
Oh, I was going to say money.
Oh yeah, well we'll say money is a
no-go. Geez, it would probably be man, it's a tough one. I never really thought about that, but it would probably have to do something with hunting and fishing. I love being in the outdoors.
Oh
so ammo.
Oh, that's a good one. And plus it's getting pricier by the day. So if you had an unlimited supply for the rest of your life, that would save a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, ammo and gas are just like going through the roof.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And baby formula.
And thank God we're past the baby formula stage, where my wife said I don't need that anymore. But yikes, I can't imagine right now. So let's move into our notable smokable for the week. And notable smokables brought to us by our friends at Ace Prime Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So Tom, each week during Notable Smokable, each one of us name a cigar that we've smoked recently that was notable to us. Now, it could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades that maybe we revisit for the first time in a really long time, or it could be a cigar that we tried for the first time ever. Now, obviously, you're mostly smoking stuff from your own brands, but every once in a while, people get a chance to reach outside and pick something out of the their local shop that is outside of their brand. So is there anything you smoked recently that was notable to you?
I haven't smoked. I don't smoke a lot of cigars outside of my brand.
Yeah.
Not very often, and especially being on the road so much lately, I'm always out there kind of smoking, my own stuff because I'm walking into stores and we have such a wide selection of stuff. But I did smoke uh, one of our Asylum Premiums recently, and I hadn't smoked one of those in a long time, and it was just it was really nice. It just has that rich flavor, a subtle spice to it. It was really, really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I grabbed some stuff out of my humidor here, knowing you were going to be on the show tonight. And I mean, I've got everything from the Asylum 13 Corojo, we had the Medulla
Corojo, yeah.
as the pregame, and then the classic, the Asylum 13 I've got here, and then the Aroha Classic, and Justin's got some stuff with him too. But yeah, it's
the Asylum that you put up there in the cellophane.
Yeah, this one here, the Asylum. Sorry, this is the Devil's Night.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say I could tell by the band.
Yeah, that's the Devil's Night, which that blend is no joke. I mean that blend is it's something that's got a lot going on. It's a very complex blend, in my opinion.
Have to give that one a try. My notable this week is going to have to be this Aurora here, PCA exclusive. It's the first cigar that I'm actually tasting in about 2 weeks, and it tastes damn good. So I'm going with this one.
Yeah, it's so great after you get over COVID when you can finally start smelling and tasting things again.
Slowly.
For me, mine was actually a Plasencia cigar that I've had before, but it's been a long time since I've had it. And it's the Cosecha 146 in the Robusto size. I had one at the cigar shop yesterday, and it's one of those cigars that's not expensive. It's a good price point, and the flavors and aromas kind of hit where you want them to hit, and it's a very nice blend, definitely. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to us by Ace Prime, improving lives through fine cigars. Please visit aceprime.com to learn more. So to give our viewers and listeners an idea of some of the cool stuff we have coming up in the next few weeks. So we're not going to have a show next Monday night. That is Memorial Day. It's a holiday here in the United States, and we are going to respect that and let you guys enjoy your barbecues or whatever it is you do when you celebrate Memorial Day. So have a good time next Monday night. The following Monday, like I mentioned, we have on June 6th, we have Bear Duplessis from El Oso Fumar Takes on the show for his, I want to say, third appearance on the show. He was our very first live guest on the show. And then so June 13th is a big one.
I can't wait for that one.
You guys absolutely do not want to miss the June 13th show. We have a mystery guest. We will not divulge to anyone who the mystery guest is for the 13th. You will not find out until you tune in live on the 13th who the mystery guest is and what this is all about.
And about the mystery guest, we're going to have some unbanded sticks.
We have an exciting project.
Yeah.
To get out there about this. So a very exciting mystery guest on the 13th. On the 20th, this is another exciting thing. Ricky Rodriguez, who we've all known, we interviewed him on the show early on in the days of How About That Cigar. He was the face of CAO Cigars for a long time, and he recently announced he was leaving CAO Cigars. He started a new project called the West Tampa Tobacco Company. So we are going to talk to him about that new adventure on the 20th of June. And then at the end of the month in June, we actually have a special Tuesday night edition because that Monday, which is the 27th, that is my wedding anniversary. And we will absolutely not do a show on my wedding anniversary because I want to stay married. So we're not going to do a show on the 27th. The show will be the following night on Tuesday, the 28th. And we have Omar DeFrias from Fratello Cigars on the show. So very exciting stuff coming up in June. And then right after that, honestly, the time is flying by. Right after that, we're going to be at the PCA trade show in July, covering all the very cool stuff going on with everybody in the industry. So Tom, give our viewers and listeners a final idea. Where is the best place for them to keep up with everything going on with CLE and Asylum?
Best place is obviously our clecigars.com or asylumcigars.com. It all kind of takes you to the same place. And our Asylum Facebook page or Instagram, and same thing, CLE and Aroa both have their own Instagram. So we do a lot on the Instagram pages. So anything new or what's happening is usually posted there, and events and things like that you can find on our webpage.
Very nice. Well, Tom, thank you so much for being on episode 160. I'm glad we finally got you on the show, brother, and it was great to talk to you tonight.
No, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully we'll do it again. I'm a little disappointed. Bear's been on 3 times, and this is my first. So
we'll definitely fix that.
No, Bear's awesome, man. I love.
He is a great guy.
His show quite a few times.
And if you ever find yourself visiting any shops up in the Twin Cities area, Minneapolis, St. Paul, just give us a shout when you're here, and we'll get together.
That sounds good, guys. Thank you for having me tonight.
Fantastic. Viewers and listeners, guys, as always, thank you so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar. We're so grateful to you guys for watching live on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, if you're listening on the audio podcast, thanks again for listening to this episode and all the episodes we have on there. Make sure to go on to the YouTube channel and not only watch the videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And when you're on Facebook watching us, be sure to like the page on Facebook and follow everything so you don't miss any new episodes. And of course, on the audio podcast platform, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of those great new episodes coming from How About That Cigar. And of course, guys, we are so grateful to you. And as always, burn cigars,
not bridges.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Peace.